Welcome to Embedkari. Today I am going to discuss about preprocessor and we will look into that first build system. And in the build system we know that the process is the C file goes through the preprocessor, then text processing is done in by preprocessor, and then it goes to the compiler for compilation. And generally this preprocessor is part of the compiler itself, and this pre-processing based on some directives, and it look that has symbol for that. And for example, let's say header file that has the declaration and definitions and other things. We will discuss about conditional compilation, in which one particular part of the code can be excluded, that is the optionally excluded provision. And third one, we will discuss about the macro. So macro is basically to simplify the complexity of the code. These 3 points mainly we will discuss today. So in the header file, as I told you that this symbol is what preprocessor directive it looks for, whether it is like for this including the file, whether it is for macros, conditional compiling, or pragmas, that we will discuss later. And this particular notation is for system or library files, so it will look from that particular path, and this double quotation symbol for the user specific header files. So this is what path based things. Apart from that important thing I would like to discuss today, multiple include optimization. What does that mean? So as I told you, one header file, for example, let's discuss this user program header file. If you have to declare many things in one particular header file, normally we use header file because we want to avoid writing same thing again and again in different source files. But if we include that header file in all the source files, first of all you will ask why we need the header file for in the all source file. So let me give you an example. Suppose you have certain common definitions. Let's say you have used a specific type, user defined types or structures which you want to use in your code in different source files, then you have to include that header file everywhere. But if one header file everywhere is included, so what will happen, that declaration or definitions will be repeated. It means that compiler will throw the error in the syntax error, that multiple definition. That is the common problem. To avoid that, this provision is done. So what is this provision? In the header file, what you need to do, you need to write these things if not defined. And here this can be any user defined, or maybe you can write that file name, whatever it is. Let's say it is your user defined definition, or let's say if it is math specific, then you can write math math exists, so you know that math header file exists. So if it is not defined, okay, then you are writing define this, and then you are putting your header file. So this whole thing, this wrapper, will take care of adding it only once. How? Because first time whenever it will encounter this thing, so it will it will go inside. If and define, it is not defined in the first time, so it will go inside, it will define it. But next times in the second occurrence, it is already defined, so it will not go inside that. It will not even consider that. So that's why it is called optimization also from the preprocessor point of view. So this is only once kind of entry. So the preprocessor will reach this point only once. This helps to avoid multiple declaration definition of the same structure. All declaration or definitions will be done at first occurrence itself. So this is called guard macro. So that is guarding that, and it is also known as that this controlling macro. Second requirement is computed includes. What does that mean? If you have multiple header files because of different versions, so what you can do,